You're standing on the edge of your capsule, 3,000 kilometers above the clouds of Jupiter. Below you, a storm bigger than your whole planet turns slowly, and you let go. The fall begins. And here's the problem nobody warned you about. Jupiter has no ground, no surface, no floor, nowhere to land, ever. So the question isn't whether you survive the landing, it's where you stop. Hold that question, because every kilometer down, this planet gets less like a place and more like a nightmare. Stay with me. First, understand what you're falling into. Jupiter is so big that 1,300 Earths could fit inside it. Take every other planet in the solar system combined. Jupiter is still more than twice as heavy. That red storm below you, it's the Great Red Spot, a hurricane wider than the entire Earth that has been raging for at least 350 years. Sailors were watching it through telescopes before the United States existed, and its gravity is already pulling you in at 2.5 times the strength of Earth's. You're not skydiving anymore. You're being taken. You hit the cloud tops. Depth, 0 kilometers. Pressure, 1 bar, the same as Earth at sea level. That's the last familiar number you will ever see. These clouds aren't water, they're ammonia ice. At 145 degrees below zero, whipped into cream and rust-colored bands by winds over 600 kilometers an hour. The sun still glows above you, soft and gold through the haze. Take a good look. That light has followed you your entire life. In a few minutes, you'll lose it forever. But it gets worse first. 50 kilometers down, the sky turns violent. You've reached the water clouds. Yes, water. Just like home, but stretched into storm systems the size of continents. And then the sky detonates. Lightning, not Earth lightning. Superbolts, 10 times more powerful than anything our planet can produce. Flashing green-white through canyons of cloud. Spacecraft have photographed these storms from orbit for decades. They never stop. There is no calm day on Jupiter, no off-season. Just a churning engine of weather that has been running for 4.5 billion years. Your suit's pressure gauge reads 5 bars, and climbing. On Earth, that's 40 meters underwater. You're still in the shallow end. And here's the part that should give you chills. Something fell here before you. On December 7th, 1995, NASA's Galileo probe hit these clouds at 170,000 kilometers per hour, the fastest atmospheric entry ever made by anything humans have built. It survived the fireball of entry. It opened its parachute, and for 58 minutes, it fell through this exact sky, radioing home everything it felt. At 23 bars of pressure, around 150 kilometers below the cloud tops, its transmitters failed. Then it melted. Then it vaporized completely. Its atoms are still here, mixed into the clouds around you right now. The probe didn't crash into Jupiter, it became Jupiter. And so will you. You just don't know it yet. You pass the last of the light. Below roughly 1,000 kilometers, Jupiter goes black, permanently. No day has ever reached this deep. No day ever will. And now, the strangest thing begins. The air around you thickens. Gradually, smoothly, the atmosphere compresses into something like a warm, bottomless sea. No splash, no boundary, no moment where gas ends and liquid begins. This is why there's nowhere to land. Jupiter isn't a rock wrapped in clouds. It's a planet made almost entirely of sky, all the way down. The temperature climbs past your oven's limit, then past molten lava, and the pressure passes the crush depth of every submarine ever built. Your suit's alarms have been screaming for a while now. Then, one by one, they stop. 20,000 kilometers down. Pressure, 2 million times Earth's atmosphere. Here, Jupiter does something no place on Earth can. It squeezes hydrogen, the lightest gas in the universe, until it becomes liquid metal, an ocean of shimmering liquid metallic hydrogen, tens of thousands of kilometers deep. It flows. It conducts electricity. It shines like Mercury in the dark. And as Jupiter spins, this metal ocean churns, generating a magnetic field 20,000 times stronger than Earth's, the largest single structure in the entire solar system. You are falling through the engine that builds it. This is where your journey ends. Long before the center, the glow of your suit's beacon fades into the metal sea, and everything you were is folded, atom by atom, into the planet. Just like Galileo, Jupiter doesn't have visitors. It only has ingredients. But your story isn't over, because the fall continues without you. Down where you can never go, the pressure passes 40 million bars, and at the very center, there may be no solid core at all, just a hot, fuzzy heart of rock and metal, dissolved into the planet like sugar in tea. That heart burns at over 30,000 degrees, 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. In fact, Jupiter gives off more heat than it receives from the sun. It's still shrinking, about 2 centimeters every year, squeezing itself hotter as it slowly falls into itself. Because here's the secret. Jupiter is a failed star. If it had gathered about 80 times more mass, it would have ignited, and Earth would have 2 suns. You didn't fall into a planet, you fell into a star that never woke up. Now come back up, into the light. Take a breath, because you will never fall into Jupiter. But here's what Jupiter does for you every single day, without ever being asked. In July 1994, comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 slammed into Jupiter in 21 pieces. The explosions left scars the size of Earth. Jupiter took every single hit and barely noticed. For 4 billion years, that monstrous gravity has been sweeping the solar system, catching comets, flinging debris away, quietly deflecting some of what might otherwise have found its way to us. The place that would erase you without noticing is one of the reasons there's a you at all. The monster is also the bodyguard. So here's our question. If you could make that dive, see the lightning, the metal ocean, the sleeping star, knowing you could never come back, would you go? Tell us below and subscribe to MindBridge, because next week we fall somewhere new.